some other cities around the world or Europe. I mean, just online. Yeah, some flyers, spots, you know.
So the walking tour has just started. This is the main town square, so I'm told. This is the central meeting point for pretty much everything in the city. This is the red church, so he said. It actually looks more pink, where it's faded over the years. Over on the other side of the square is a statue, and it's a statue of a guy called Prešeren. He is the nation's favourite poet. There's a closer look at the man himself, church in the background. Amongst his famous contributions to the country, he is the author of the national anthem of Slovenia. Also another interesting story that we were told on the tour. In his 40s he fell in love with a girl named Juliet who was only 16, and his gaze is towards a statue of Juliet over there on that yellow building. There's a closer view. She seems to be staring back. Standing on the steps of the church now. Another couple of famous landmarks. One is the Triple Bridge, which is just down here in front of me. Named that because there's 3 bridges, quite an obvious one. And then across the river, high up on the hill, there's Ljubljana Castle. This is the indoor market hall, the outdoor one's behind me, designed by a guy named Plišnik, a local architect. Won a scholarship when he was at university to go and study around Italy and gain inspiration from the Italians. Ended up in Prague, where he helped to redesign the refurbished castle up on the hill. And then he came back to Ljubljana, designed this. The pillars, by the way, are made of crushed stone. This is a milk machine. You can buy your bottles and then purchase fresh milk that's replenished daily. This is the central marketplace, where you'll find locals selling all kinds of different products, from clothing to fish, milk, meat, vegetables. Apparently it's here every day apart from Sundays. So we're halfway through the tour now. It's been really good so far. Keep getting food samples as well, so it's a bit like a food tour as well. Tried roasted almonds, and we just tried some liquor from this wine shop. So this is the Dragon Bridge. Originally it was the Jubilee Bridge, the first concrete bridge in Slovenia. And it wasn't placed outside, or it wasn't built outside of a palace or anything, because they were worried about it collapsing. And they thought if it did collapse in front of a palace, it would be a huge scandal. They don't have a royal family now, so they renamed it the Dragon Bridge. Just standing on the steps of Town Hall. This is Town Square. Town Hall is just there on my left, there you go. 3 flags above the door. The left one the European Union, the middle one the Slovenian national flag, and the one on the right the flag of Ljubljana, the city flag. Now in the Jewish quarter. So this is the finishing point of the tour this morning. or this afternoon I should say, as it is now. This is Congress Square, and you can see way up on the hill there is Ljubljana Castle. We'll be visiting the castle tomorrow. So the guide on the walking tour gave us some history of Slovenia as a country. It turns out there's evidence of people living in these lands going back to 3500 BC during the Bronze Age. Later on, the place was conquered by the Romans in about 10 BC, and they went on to rule here until the 5th century. For the next 1500 years, these lands were ruled by the Franks, the Germans, the Holy Romans, the Habsburgs, and then eventually it became part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The Austro-Hungarian Empire would collapse at the end of the First World War in 1918, and so Slovenes, Croats and Serbs came together to form a new state, and that state would end up being known as Yugoslavia. In 1990 a referendum was held, and the people of Slovenia overwhelmingly voted to become an independent country. The Parliament of Slovenia 1 year later officially declared themselves independent from the Yugoslavia, and then after a 10-day war, the UN and the EU brokered a peace deal that would pave the way for an independent country of Slovenia. In 2004 they became members of the UN and the EU, and they've been using the euro as their currency since 2007. So darkness has fallen, I've just had some dinner, and I'm about to go and explore Ljubljana by night.
The moment's gone before I realize I was out of my way. We sit and talk, I see your crying eyes turning red through the day. I share my mind with no censorship, hang it all out to dry. The teardrops hanging from your upper lip.